Hello everybody and thanks for tuning in to Worms and Warriors. If you're new here, this is a channel where we have historical content and gaming content. Mostly historical gaming content. Just before I get started here, this is a brand new campaign. I've been absent from YouTube for quite a while. I've just been very busy, work, I write books now as well, and I'm studying on top of that. So YouTube's kind of taking a step back, but I'm getting back onto YouTube. I'm going to be doing a whole load of new content. Both historical content and gaming content. So this is the first game I'd like to have a look at. Master of Command. It's a game set in the 18th century, a period I don't know that much about. I know the basics, I suppose, but the 19th century is kind of more my turf in terms of gunpowder warfare and medieval wars, where my expertise, so to speak, lies. That's where I've written my books for, anyway. Talking of books, I've got a couple of books out. I'll put a link in the description so anybody interested in my work can go and check that out. They are available on Amazon and all over the internet, really, wherever you get your books. And before we get started here, just a quick note that this video is chaptered, as my videos always are. So if you don't want to watch introduction parts or anything like that, you can just skip straight ahead and go to where the campaign starts. So if you're not interested in that sort of side of things, feel free to simply go right ahead to wherever you want to be. We're going to do a new campaign. To start with, I would like to say a huge thank you for the channel members who've stuck with their membership while I haven't produced content in the last three months or so, which, I mean, is totally appreciated and like humbling, really. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for that. Before I start, your name should be up on the screen now, or maybe they've already flashed up. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this together. You are appreciated. It's awesome. If there's anything that you channel members would like in terms of perks or anything else, just reach out and if I can do something, I will certainly do it. So, Master of Command. It's a 1700s set war game, a strategy game. It's good fun. I've played I think about 15 hours or so. I've never finished the campaign yet, but I have enjoyed it. So let's have a look. We're going to do the new campaign. You can see here, you can play as various different factions. I suppose I can do a little overview here, maybe even like a little tutorial. Not exactly a tutorial, because I don't really know everything about it. But we'll kind of a little look, like a little overview. And like I say, if you don't want to see this, you can just skip ahead. These are the different nations you can play as, or the different factions, I guess, and we'll have a quick look at them. But before we do so, why not hit the subscribe button and follow this channel along? It's very helpful for smaller channels like this to get subscribers, or even people liking the video. That would be awesome. The nation. So we've got the British Crown and Hanoeuvre. This is obviously the red coats, the British, the 1700s time. But we're not going to play as the British. Complexity kernel, challenging. It's quite a hard game as the British. I have tried it. It is tricky. The Habsburg monarchy, so you've got like Austria and, what do I want to say, Hungary and a few other nations, I think, kind of combined together there to make them up. Next up, we have the Kingdom of Prussia, which is who we're going to play as. So we'll get back to them in a minute. Then we have the Russian Empire with their imperial army. I haven't tried the Russians yet, but maybe I will at some point. And then we have the French. And I have not played as the French, and I probably won't play as the French, as they are our natural enemy as a British person. Not really, but anyway. So the Kingdom of Prussia is who we're going to play as. This game lets you choose a few different options. So the Kingdom of Prussia. Prussia's fast infantry is drilled to march and reload with unmatched efficiency, enabling daring manoeuvres. Their heavy infantry forms the backbone of this disciplined army, holding firm in brutal contests. But Prussia's reliance on its infantry comes at a cost. The artillery corps is neglected by commanders, and maintaining such elite forces means fielding expensive units that are difficult to replace. So the replacements and things is something we'll look at as the game starts. Different units basically draw new recruits at different rates. So like an experienced unit obviously gets recruits much slower than a new recruit unit or conscripts or whatever. As you play through the game here, you will unlock different things. So we can at the minute play with this setup here with the cantonist levies or cantonists. I'm not sure how you say that. Or you can have the Freikorps volunteers, which gives you slightly different game play. So if we have the Freikorps, for example, the complexity becomes difficult, so it goes up, so it makes the game harder to play. But I'm not going to play on that just yet. Like I say, I'm fairly new to this game still, so we're going to play on the easier settings, just till we get the swing of it. If you guys like this game and want to see more, obviously I'll start playing some more advanced settings and some more complex nations. Maybe it could be as Britain or France, maybe, or I don't know, Habsburgs. Yeah, we'll have a look. But this is the kind of default setting for the game. So the complexity here is captain. In the mid-18th century, Prussia recruits conscripts via a unique canton system. So the canton system, I'll just do a little quick aside. I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but a canton was basically a unit, was basically a region within Prussia. And each region was responsible for providing recruits to the army. Now, these guys were conscripts, but the army was professional. So these dudes would be conscripted, and they would usually stay in the army for up to 20 years, or until they were crippled or dead or whatever, obviously. But so they were conscripted in and placed into a canton regiment. So it'll be a canton be the region, so it would be like Canton Regiment 3. You know, that would be the 3rd regiment from that area. So they would then serve in that regiment until they were discharged, I guess, when they were too old or once they retired. But yeah, it's a bit different to the normal conscript system in the sense that these guys were recruited and kept in there. Much like modern reservists, these soldiers are drafted into the army for basic training, but then furloughed to their villages in peacetime. So they're called back up into the service every time there's a war, and these guys were at war a lot. This allows Prussia to maintain a large supply of trained manpower during conflicts. Mobilized cantonists? I'm not really sure. Are not the best trained soldiers in the Prussian army, but they remain loyal infantrymen. So these guys are called up regularly to serve, and they are decent troops. So we can see our starting troops down here, actually. Let's have a quick look. So we start with this general here, von Arnhold-Dessau. I'm not sure if he was a real guy or not, but he comes with a couple of perks there. He's orderly and he's timely. So that gets our guys 10% stamina, 5% veterancy gain, and improves their reload speed and movement speed. All handy stuff. So we've then got a unit of Prussian musketeers. Those numbers there all mean different things, of course. So the flag at the top, 50, is morale. The 1400 is how many men are in that unit. Then we have accuracy, which is 20 there. We have reloading speed, which is 30. Then we have something else. I'm not sure what that one is, the 15. I can't remember. We'll see when we get in the game. Melee, 20. Movement speed, 45. Or is that stamina, 45 maybe? And movement speed 35, something like that. We'll have a proper look at the numbers when the tooltip comes up, because you can't get it up on here. I can't remember. Then we have some Prussian dragoons here. Again, pretty good. And we can see here where it says average replenishment, so it's like normal speed for replacing losses. Same for the musketeers. The cantonist recruits. So these are the bog standard infantry that we'll recruit. These guys have 35 morale, so we can see it's a bit lower than the Prussian musketeers. 1400 men, same as the musketeer regiment. 15 and 25, so if we compare that to 20 and 30, so the numbers are a bit different, a bit lower for the recruits, but they get better as it goes on. So each unit can then also be equipped with special items, and we start with these things here. Again, we'll have a proper look at these once we get into the game. These are the starting resources, so we're going to start with 250 food, 300 thaler, so that's money, gold, 350 recruits, and 500 ammunition. You have to manage your ammunition and reserves in this game. So that's where we are. I didn't want to talk on and on and on with this, but if you've stuck around and watched it, then that's great. Let's go and have a look into the campaign now. Let's continue. So the way this works once you get into the game is that you pick one of 3 overviews. So we've got these 3 to choose from here. Suppress Thuringia, occupy Greater Poland, or reinforce Hanover. I grew up not far from Hanover, next to Celle, just as a little aside there. But anyway, so we've got to choose one of these 3. Come with different rewards and different challenges. So if we were going to suppress Thuringia, say, we have to raid 3 settlements, and we would be rewarded by having this regiment join our army. We also have to dismantle 5 slums, and we would get this reward for this doctrine reward, which makes attrition minus 50% for our whole army. Doctrines are things that affect everyone. So at the moment, is this our doctrine? Yes, these are our doctrines. Start the campaign with double starting resources. I'm not sure why that is. Anyway, so we've got to choose one of these. So let's have a look. Well, why don't we just start with this one? We've got to raid 3 settlements and dismantle 5 slums. Okay, let's do suppress Thuringia. I don't know how we say it. So we're in our camp overview, and we can see our guys here. So like I was saying, let's have a quick look over these. So morale, range, accuracy, reload speed, Charge. Ah, that's what that one is. Charge. So how good they are charging the enemy. Melee. Stamina. And then movement speed. Okay, so that all makes sense. These numbers are affected by various perks that we can put in here, and by the brigade general. So this is the brigade general here. This is us, obviously, Friedrich II von Preußen from Prussia. I've had a couple of guys ask for unit names in game, and I'm happy to do that. Happy to change names. Let's have a look. So first of all, we had the Desert Fox, who asked for a regiment to be renamed. He asked for a light infantry regiment, but we haven't got any light infantry, as you can probably see here. We've got the Musketeers and those Cantonist guys. So I'm going to rename the Musketeers for you. So these dudes are the Light Fox regiment now. And I will switch them over to one of our Fusilier units, which is what the light infantry is called in this game. We can do that there, no bother. And then I had another request from Hectic Harry, I believe. Let me just double check. Hectic would like the Brandenburg Guard. Yep, no problem at all. One of these guys. The Brandenburg Guard, there they are. So if you'd like one of these regiments named, drop it in the comments. I'm always happy to do that kind of thing, especially if you're a channel member, in which case you will obviously get first pick. If any of my channel members would like to rename the brigade, that's also open. And we can also rename the commander. So if you would like your name in the game, go ahead and do that for the officer. So we can have this guy renamed, not the main dude, but we can rename him. So we can rename the brigade commander, and we can rename the brigade. So let me know if that's something you would like. Anyway, so let's have a look at this here. The Light Fox Regiment. We've got these perks to give out. Military treatise. Treatise? Frederick II. So this would get these guys a reload +8 and a movement speed +4. Very handy to have. And I like to give that to these dudes. So it improves their stats. So you see them go up. The Brandenburg Guard, let's have a look. To the if you give regimental staff, quartermaster, good. So this dude's got a whip. Knows every man by name and every crate by weight. Under his watch, the regiment drills harder and learns faster. So you would lose 4 morale, but you gain 25% veterancy. So every time you gain experience, your unit will get an extra 25%. Therefore, you'll get to choose the next kind of growth for that unit. But we'll leave that for now. Next, we have pocket Bibles. Small enough to fit in a coat, carried close by many, a source of comfort and conviction when steel and smoke close in. So that gets us minus 10% morale, damage received, and 10% fire damage. Okay. Or we could have field musicians. Now that might be a good one for the Brandenburg Guard. Morale +6 and movement speed +2. The steady rhythm of fife and drum keeps men in line and spirits high. On a chaotic field, the beat can be as vital as a volley, so it's good for them, I suppose. Let's pop that in there. We also have cylindrical ramrods, basic. Uniformly machined rods that glide down the barrel with ease. Favoured by disciplined units aiming to fire first and often. Reload +8, accuracy +2. And we also have tobacco rations. Rolled and lit before or after the fight, calms the nerves and sharpens the eye, though it takes a toll on the lungs. Accuracy -4. Accuracy +6, sorry, stamina -4. So I'm going to give our basic recruit unit here, I'm going to give them the quartermaster. I will give Light Fox Regiment the ramrods, so it's going to boost them up even more. This is our elite unit for now. Let's give the pocket Bibles to the Brandenburg Guard. And let's give the Dragoons here, who are a pretty useful unit, the tobacco rations. Okay, so this is the kind of overview. Once we unlock this here, it costs 300 to purchase a new brigade, but that's just to enable you to recruit the brigade. Like, you don't get the troops. It just opens up the slot. Then we need an officer to command it, and then we need more regiments to be in it. But obviously, that's something we shall look at soon. Just before we carry on, there are also weapons in here. So these guys are armed with the Potsdam musket. They give you different stats here. And they've got a socket bayonet, which is not bad. But if you look at the Brandenburg Guard, for example, they've got worn muskets, which are garbage, and worn bayonets. So the equipment is much worse for these kind of newly raised recruit units. But they'll get better as we capture it or buy it. Equipment, that is. So the Prussian Dragoons, they've got some pretty good gear. The Potsdam carbine, not bad, and the Dragoon sword is just standard. In addition to the names, we can also change flags, so we can have all sorts going on here. We could, there you go, look, we could make him look like Roman almost. But if you'd like a flag changed, I'm also happy to do that. So these guys have now got that emblem. But whatever. You know, if you want a different flag, let me know for your units and be as specific as you like, and I'll try and recreate that. If you don't, then just leave it be. But that's it. That's the camp overview. So, here we are then. General, your army stands at the frontier. Though modest in size, your forces are disciplined and in good order. A nearby depot lies ahead, lightly defended, and will serve as a starting point to begin your campaign, though you'll need to press onward soon after. The land is open and the roads clear, ideal for seeking out skirmishes and encounters. Engage patrols boldly, even those larger than your own. Their troops are of lower quality and their spoils and equipment will serve your army well. We await your progress. So they want us to go out there and cause some havoc. These maps, okay, one of our missions here, we've got to dismantle 5 slums and raid 3 settlements. So raiding a settlement, you just go next to it and basically burn it to the ground and steal whatever's there. It doesn't seem to affect anything beyond that. Like, I don't really know why, but we can dismantle the slums, and they usually come with like a little message that'll pop up, and something usually happens when you do that kind of thing. The maps are randomly generated, I believe, so it changes. The towns are historical, mostly, or all, I'm not sure, but the map changes. And while we march around the map, we will encounter enemy troops, and we'll have to fight them. So this number here is our total number of troops. We've got just under 5,000 men. There's that little supply cache that we're talking about. Once we march that, we'll get a little notification and we'll end up fighting an enemy. This is a town, so we can march into the town. Towns always have different kind of things going on. So at the minute, they've got disrupted industry, so ammunition available is less than it normally would be, and it costs more. But that's okay, because we don't really need it at the moment. We've got 1,000. So the first thing we'll do here is we're going to march straight to the supply cache and see what happens. Just as a quick aside, the way the map works is a lot like a game called Battle Brothers, which is another game I enjoy. So if you'd like to see that one, do let me know. Anyway, Your Grace, a supply cache lies before us. Or cache? A supply cache, I say cache, I think, lies before us. But a handful of enemy stragglers stand watch. We may strike swiftly and seize one part of the stock before they can react. Coin, provisions, or powder. Such haste will rouse them to battle. Yet their strength is slight, and our men are confident the fight will be ours. So this will be a nice one to ease us into a fight. So we can take their coin, we can take their provisions, or we can take the ammunition. Or we could just leave. I think we've got quite a lot of ammunition here. We'll probably need the money, I think. I suppose we'll take that coin. Yeah, let's take that coin. Yeah, so there we go, look. So their little armies materialise now, and they're going to face off against us. The Battle of Obschutz. And we are facing Joseph Ulysses Peroni. He's got some Grenza provincial cavalry, and some Hungarian recruits. Alright, so it should be a pretty straightforward fight, to be honest. Fight the battle. And this is the battlefield. We can see the enemy over here. His units just there. It's been so long since I've recorded and played that I've had to just adjust the microphone and everything. So there we go. We've got a hill here as well. So if you're on a hill, it gives you a little bit of bonus to morale, I think, and a little bit of bonus to accuracy. This indicates cover. So if you're in the woods, for example, let's put them here. You get more cover. So we've got 64% cover. But I don't want those recruits there. Let's pop them here. I'm going to pop the dragoons off to the right. The Brandenburg Guard will take the centre. The Light Fox Regiment can stay on the left here in the woods. And let's get started. Put our general up on the hill. The dudes move pretty slowly. Going to advance our guys a bit into these fields. And we have to remember this is the 18th century, and muskets at this period are not very accurate. So we have to get in close for fire to be accurate. I'm just moving the Light Fox guys up onto the enemy flank. So they're going to angle here, and we're going to hopefully push through and hit them, while the Brandenburg Guard and the Cantonists hold that centre. the Dragoons are going to take the other flank. This should be over before it's even started, really. I like the graphics of this game. I think they're quite fun. It reminds me a little bit of like Lego or something like that, I suppose. So the Brandenburg guys, we've got a range of 100. The Cantonists also 100. I think we might all have 100. 90 for the Dragoons. Okay, so because they've got carbines, I suppose. Oh, 125 for the Light Fox guys. Oh yeah, because obviously they are not light infantry. I was thinking they are light infantry because I called them the Light Fox, but they are not. They are actually our best troops. So that's perfect actually for them to be on the flank. So the Brandenburgers are going to take a brunt of the fight here, and the Cantonists, which is good because the Brandenburgers will then hopefully get some more experience. You see the range, not that far. The Hungarian troops are coming forward. So we're going to have a nice clash here. We've got a little bit of cover going on, 25%. These dudes have got 57 because they're in the woods, but it'll be okay. I'm banking on our flanking fire doing the most damage. Got to watch their cavalry as well, though. There we are. Oh, we got good cover because we're right on the fence. 64%. There we are, opening volley, hitting into them. We took 40 out, and they are still marching on. Drop them down. Got men falling out, and the ranks just close up. I'm tempted to send our cavalry to sweep their cavalry away and then come in from behind. We've got 600, they've got 400. Some hard fighting here. The Hungarians are dropping like flies. We've also suffered quite a lot of casualties. There we are. Oh! We got charged, but we managed to win. That was lucky. So those guys are off. Let's get our boys hitting their flank. That should be pretty much it for those Hungarians in the middle. The Light Fox guys have inflicted 90 casualties on those Hungarians. Oh, 145. See how effective that was from the flank? Nice. And they are off. They're fleeing. Let's redirect the Brandenburg Guard and fire into the Hungarian recruits. Our Dragoons are now hitting them in the flank as well. They are pretty much done for. The little blue line underneath there, that is the morale. Bravely fighting. Oh, they're done, and we are victorious. So that was a nice, easy little easing into the game. Now we got some loot, 185 bucks. And we picked up a whole load of stuff. Actually, that's nice. So we've got some. You can give all these things out to your regiments, of course. So what do we get here? We got earthworks. I don't tend to use them. It's like your dudes carry them around and it gives you better cover, which I suppose is handy. But usually I just sell them and buy something better. Hussar sabers, so they are slightly different to the ones that our Dragoons have got. We'll have a look and see what the difference is in a minute. We've got some more tobacco rations, blanket rolls, which help with attrition and melee damage, I suppose because they would absorb some of the blows. Tompions, tight-fitting barrel plugs that reduce fouling and moisture. Small refinement, noticeable decrease in misfires. Shepherd's axes. Improves cover and melee damage. Nice. And a limber chest. This is for artillery, which we haven't got at the moment, but we will have at some point soon. Overall, we lost 254 men and inflicted 641 casualties on the enemy. That's not too bad at all. We captured 1,966 of them. The rest kind of just scatter away. So the Light Fox Regiment inflicted 147 casualties. The Dragoons 186. That was pretty cool. The Brandenburg Guard, nice job at 129. And the Cantonist recruits, they did quite a bit of hard fighting there. And they got 177 kills. Not bad. Not bad at all. That second Hungarian unit did quite well for them. 113. The cavalry didn't do that well, even though they managed to charge our guys while I was busy looking at other things. So then we've got to decide. Do we ransom the guys so we get 79 extra gold plus some ammunition? Do we conscript them? We get more reservists and some of our casualties restored. Or do we exchange them in exchange for more veterancy for our guys and provisions? Now, I'm going to go for this one for now, because I think veterancy is important early on in the game. Let's do that. So our dudes have gone up in rank and skill a little bit here, but probably not enough to promote them yet. So the way it works is, you see this number over here, so they're level 1. We can click on here. This takes us to the kind of upgrade tree. We are on the Prussian Musketeer route, so they need 5 progress points to go up to Veteran Musketeer, or 6 to become Prussian Grenadiers. What about our Cantonist guys? So the Cantonist recruits here, these guys actually could get promoted, so they've got 2 points, and that means we could bring them up as Prussian Land Miliz. So Prussian, kind of the precursor to the Landwehr troops. So these are militia troops. Now, they are better than the Cantonist recruits in the sense that they have better morale. They have better loading times. They have better, what was this again? Charge? Yeah, charge. And melee skill. So they are superior in most things. However, I'm not going to promote these guys just yet, because I'm either going to change them over into our light infantry unit, so I can rename the Fox Regiment, or we'll use artillery. We'll make them become artillery. So for now, I'm going to leave them as they are. The Brandenburg guys are almost at the next level. So once they go up, I will promote them to better infantry, I think. Maybe the Landmiliz. But first thing we have to do is we have to replenish our guys. So we replenish the entire brigade here. So it takes us down to 446 recruits left over. And we need ammunition to replenish. So that takes us down 870. So we are back to full ammo and full recruits. Not quite, but we've ordered them. So the darker line, the darker green here, means that we're waiting for the recruits to come in, and they will trickle in as we march on the map. So we've got some extra things here as well. Let's have a little look at these Hussar swords. At the minute, we have Dragoon swords, which have 8 charge and 8 melee. So these Hussar sabers have 10 charge and 6 melee. I'm just going to leave them as they are. However, the blanket rolls could come in handy for these guys, since the Dragoons will be likely involved in hand-to-hand combat, and this gives us a little bit of better melee damage received, so like it won't cause as much damage in fights. The Brandenburg Guard could get the Tampions, so for better accuracy. Let's get them in there. Takes the accuracy to 36, which is pretty darn good. These Canton recruits, let's give them some more things. We'll give them the Shepherd's Axe. And let's give them the tobacco rations as well. Awesome. The Brandenburgers, well, we'll leave them as that for now. So this is what I was talking about. So these guys have average replenishment, so they are getting 48 per day. And these dudes get 112 per day, because they're more abundantly available. So you can see we're down to 4,546 men, but they will replenish. Let's go and have a look at this town. In town, they have different things going on, and with our setup here, the canton system means every time we come to a new town, we get 350 extra reserves, which is really quite handy. As you play as the other factions or the other settings, you will see that that is actually awesome. Also, we can buy provisions, we can buy more recruits, and we can buy ammunition. But I think we're okay on all fronts, to be honest, at the moment. But we can't sell things. So we can flog this thing that I didn't really want. Let's get rid of that. That would then take us up to 915 in the bank. And we can also buy things, but I'm going to leave that for now. I like to just plunder the fields, to be honest, rather than buying equipment, if I can help it. Quartermaster. Again, you can buy all kinds of different things. So that's for artillery. You got spontoons here, which are big spear kind of things that used to be given to sergeants who would surround the colours and protect them. You can have barracks. So this is an important part. So at the barracks, we can recruit new regiments. You can see we've got cavalry available here, but they're quite expensive. 675 would use most of our budget. Prussian musketeers we could recruit here for 750. Again, it would use a lot of our budget. 900 for the hussars. You know that it's expensive. Freikorps recruits. So again, we could then start training them up there. 325. But bear in mind, we haven't got this unlocked yet either, so that will cost us 300 to unlock the new brigade, and then we have to hire an officer. We have no officer place available here. Anyway, so we don't really want to do anything here with that. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to zoom out and we're going to go and dismantle these slums. You can see our food's ticking down as we're marching. Yeah, there we go. Sir, a search of the surrounding woods has uncovered a camp of deserters, wretched men, thin from hunger and armed with stolen gear. Their faces betray shame, but also desperation. We may storm the hideout and seize what remains, though it will cost us men. Or we could conscript the lot, granting them rations and shot in return for a second chance. Their loyalty is uncertain, but we are not in a position to be choosy. So if we re-enlist some of the deserters, we get 560 reservists. If we storm them, we'd lose 70 ammunition, but gain 860. Well, we can't do this one because we haven't got these doctrines. So I don't really want to waste ammunition. I think we've got quite a lot of recruits. We just re-enlist some of the deserters. So that's one slum dismantle. Can you see it? We've done one. So if we do all 5, we'll get the extra doctrine. Let's march straight down to this one. And then I guess we... Oh, there's an enemy army. And they're coming to fight us. Okay, great. Let's have another fight. This is a slightly bigger army. And slightly better as well, I think. No, not really. They have Hungarian Fusiliers ×2. Hungarian... So they have one set of Hungarian Fusiliers, some Hungarian recruits, and some more Hungarian recruits. And then Grenza Hussars. Grenza, I think, means border? Not sure. And Grenza recruits. So we've got our same army again. We are now fully replenished, I think. Yep. So we are slightly outnumbered here, which means the enemy will probably just come for us, and we can hopefully take up a nice defensive position. Let's go to the fight. We've got a nice big hill in the middle. We could get up on that hill and give ourselves a little advantage. Those Hungarian Fusiliers will be tough. Alright. So, the Light Fox Regiment I'm going to place over here. And these boys are going to take on those Fusiliers. Where was their cavalry? Oh, they've only got the Hussars at the back. So we'll decide what to do with our cavalry as we move forward. So what we're going to do, the Brandenburg Guard's going to take up a position here in this open ground. These Cantonist recruits are going to take up a position up on the hill. And the Light Fox guys are going to kind of go here and take on the Fusiliers. Those Hungarian Fusiliers. Let's go. If you follow the channel for some time, you'll know that most of the time I play kind of Civil War games, American Civil War games, because I love that conflict and I love games around it. But this is an interesting period for me and an interesting setup. I really quite enjoy this game. I enjoy playing it now. I hope it's fun to watch, but you never can tell. So, I mean, if you don't like it, do let me know. If you think it's crap, I will obviously not continue playing it. But it's quite good fun. Definitely going to be a tight, hard fight for these fox dudes. Their cavalry's moving off to our left. Something to keep aware of as well is if the cavalry comes in the infantry, you've got to fix your bayonets. Otherwise, they will get absolutely annihilated. Even with the bayonets on, quite often they will still get annihilated. I'm keeping the dragoons close here because it's difficult. So a little later, we would change into a square formation to face cavalry, but I don't know if that was even a thing back in this time. I'd have to do a little bit of research actually on this period. Because truthfully, I don't know that much about it. And it's an interesting period in European history, certainly. I want to swing these Brandenburgers a little bit further around. Let's get our cavalry in here as well. Maybe they can help us some fire. Those Hungarian Fusiliers are not moving in. That's okay. Here they come. Alright. So the Brandenburg Guard is facing these Grenzer recruits. Their cavalry's moving off to our other flank. I'm going to move our cavalry across. Ooh, there we go. Brandenburgers are in the fight. 53 casualties inflicted with that first volley. Ooh, 50 received. This is a brutal fight, all in the open. If we move our general nearer to the units, it'll boost their morale. So for example, the Cantonist recruits here are currently receiving a boost because the general's next to them. But I'm going to move them across towards the Brandenburg Guard to be sure they've got plenty of morale going on. They've opened up a bit too early, really. The grey line is our reloading line. Oh, their cavalry's moving again. Let's keep our guys in the centre. Hard fighting on the left. We are suffering more than them. I'm not really sure why that is exactly, but maybe they've got better weapons. Nope. God knows. We are now getting a morale boost, or should be soon, because the general's coming across. Our centre is still fighting away, causing decent casualties amongst those Hungarians. Bit of cover, 23%, not ideal. Fox Regiment is in the fight. They were giving fire to these Hungarian recruits, but I'm going to change that. Their cavalry's on the move. Let's keep an eye. The Gorenza recruits are now starting to struggle. The Brandenburg Guard is still standing hard, not bothered. Good morale still. Moving our cavalry across to watch their Czars. Let's go. Double time it, boys. I'm going to put them bayonets on. Get our cavalry in this fight. Our infantry has got the bayonets on, so the recruit. There come some more of their troops charging in. Oh, our dragoons have been struck. Get the heck out. They called off the charge just before. I don't know why that happened. They're exhausted. Maybe that's why. The Brandenburgers are out with 904 men. Let's see what else is happening. Light Fox guys. Hard fighting over here. The Hungarian Fusiliers are contracting. The Cantonists in the centre are still holding solid. The Brandenburgers had the hardest fight here. Nice. I'm going to send the cavalry after to charge these guys down to hopefully take them out of the fight fully. These Brandenburgers have been absolutely mauled. Look at that. Oof. Devastating. Right, oh, our Prussian dragoons are now into the Grenzer, so they should be able to hack them down and stop them from reforming. Bayonets on for our centre. The Fusiliers are charging in. Oh, nice. Let's move these guys across this way. Oh, no. The Hussars are back in the fight. Oh, the Dragoons managed to do them. And the Brandenburgers fought those guys off. That's awesome. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep moving up. Fight in the centre is tough. Oh, the Cantonists held it. Nice. This was a good fight. They threw everything at us there. Get our cavalry into the Hungarian recruits. That should be them done. Those Hungarian Fusiliers here have been shot to hell. Charged up a hill into our prepared defenders there, and they got annihilated. The Brandenburgers are marching on. Certainly earned their pay today. Yeah, they're done, the Hungarians. Nice. That was a pretty good fight. I enjoyed that. Let's have a look at the numbers. Not a bad haul. 231. Battle of Obschutz. The second battle of. And we got some more things here. Beer rations. Elevation screws for artillery. Horseshoes, nice, so speed +2, movement +2. Tea rations, important of course. Clear and steadying. Quiet, strengthen the cup. Sharpens the eye and smooths the rhythm of reloading. And some different muskets as well. Yeah, the Charleville musket, nice. So they get 135 range, that's actually awesome. We did, however, lose 1,200 men, so that would be most of our reserves gone. Plus, I dare say, probably much of the ammunition that we had. We've got 3,500 men remain. We did kill 2,162 and captured 2,800 enemy. So, let's have a look. We could ransom them for some ammunition and some money. We can conscript them, of course, get some more reserves and some casualties restored. Or we can exchange them for veterancy again and provisions. So I think I'm gonna conscript them because we're gonna use most of our backlog here, and this will also restore 10% of the casualties. So you can see we've got hit pretty hard there, but I think we did well. Alright. And we've got a new perk as well for the general. Nice one. So we could have efficient. Reload speed plus 15%, sorry, and stamina regain -10, so a bit slower. Explosive, artillery reload speed plus 15, artillery accuracy -5, but we haven't got any. Grenade throw range plus 40%, and melee damage plus 5, but we haven't got any of these guys yet either. The Grenadiers, let's go with efficient. The Light Fox are still on 2. Dragoons on 2. The Cantonist reserves, recruits, sorry, are now on 4. And the Brandenburg Guard is on 3. I think I'm going to leave the Brandenburg Guard until they become Prussian Musketeers. So we're going to have one more point go into them. So the recruits are going to become Fusiliers, so some light infantry. Yeah. So we now have some Fusiliers. So I'm going to just rename these guys as the Light Fox Regiment. Since you wanted light infantry. There we are. And I'll just rename these as, I don't know. Let's replenish the brigade strength. Nice. Let's replenish ammunition, see what we've got going on. Not too bad at all. So when we made these guys Fusiliers, they went from 1,400 to 800 men. So whatever was over 800, if it was still over 800, they'll have gone back in our pool. Let's give the Light Fox Regiment these Charleville muskets for increased range and accuracy. They're a bit slow to reload and a bit worse for melee, but pretty good. We'll give the horseshoes out to the Dragoons. The Brandenburg Guard was saving up for our next one, for our next upgrade to Musketeers. Hectic, unless you see this before the next episode, let me know if you want one of the other units. Do you want to be an artillery unit? Do you want to be the militia guys? Are you happy with Musketeer? Or not another Fusilier unit, but you could be cavalry. Let me know. I'm going to swap out the tobacco rations for the beer rations, I think. For the Light Fox Regiment. Those dudes can have tea. Okay. Did we not dismantle those slums? Oh no, we were going down to them. Let's go down to the slums. Oh, and there's another town we've just discovered. Nice. Your Grace, the people here have endured much and speak with the wary cadence of those who have known many campaigns. They ask for little, but in exchange for coin, they are willing to part with their knowledge of the land. Some know the locations of every village in the region, having traversed these paths since childhood. Others have tracked the comings and goings of passing convoys and may point out nearby encampments. So we can pay 130 for all encounters on the map to be revealed. Or we can pay 60 and have the villages revealed. Let's pay the 130. So we can see the whole thing now. Okay, nice. So we can see encampments, we can see convoys. We can kind of plan things out a bit better. Battlefields here. There's a herd, outposts. All sorts going on. So all these things are encounters, and all these things mean new opportunities for battle and new opportunities for loot. But this is it for the first episode. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you like the game, let me know. If you don't like the game, let me know. We can play something else. I enjoy this game. If you want your unit to be in-game, there's still space. An officer's name can be changed here. We can change the 1st Infantry. We can change the Cavalry. And we can change... that's it, actually. But we will have new regiments coming as well. So if you want your name in the game, or if you want to name a unit in the game, pop it in the comments. I'll happily do that. If you're new here, hit subscribe. If you enjoy historical fiction and non-fiction, check out my books. I'll put a link in the description. And other than that, I hope you're having a great day, whatever you're doing. And I hope you will tune in for the next episode. Ta-ra for a bit.